Fernando, do you know who is watching right now? Because you are only three.
Correct. No, it'll be the three of us.
Okay.
And we are live, gentlemen.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much. This is Enrico Gaetani speaking. I am from the EMEA Cloud Marketing team here at Hewlett Packard Enterprise. And it's a big pleasure for me with this first webinar to kick off the second series of the Helion European webinars. A series that we started back on September. It was very successful. We really covered a different topic that apparently were very attractive because the number of participants was keep increasing webinar after webinar. So we decided to extend this successful series with another couple of events. As you know, these events are supported, sponsored, organized by Hewlett Packard Enterprise in collaboration with Intel. You know that Intel and Hewlett Packard Enterprise are strong partners. We are collaborating in a lot of different activities in the IT industries, as you probably see everywhere. And this series of webinars that we are proposing you is an additional opportunity to share with our developers, users, IT professionals, our commitment in the open source technologies, and in particular on OpenStack and the Cloud Foundry. Intel and Hewlett Packard Enterprise are platinum members of the OpenStack Foundation, and we hold a seat on the board of directors as an additional proof of our commitment. Hewlett Packard Enterprise Helion OpenStack, that is our distribution, make it easier for you to configure, deploy, manage the OpenStack technology in your existing data center. With our technology, we are committed to provide you with strong resiliency, ability, agility, and really to provide an enterprise-level support that you need to accelerate your business outcome. You know that value of OpenStack really a lot, and by the way, this combination really helps you to avoid all the vendors lock-in. Intel is strongly committed as well, and all the Intel developers work with the community to expose the Intel hardware technology to the OpenStack software modules, and they are committed to extend the OpenStack technology to improve the security, compliance, availability, manageability, and overall the end-user experience. So that said, you can understand the reason why Hewlett Packard Enterprise and Intel are working together on this series of events that we are proud to offer to you. As anticipated, today we are kicking off the second series, and we have a very interesting topic because it will be presented by Etienne Cointet, that will introduce himself right after my short introduction. We were both attending the Cloud Foundry Summit last week in Berlin. It was a fantastic experience, and I'm pretty happy to have Etienne sharing with you some of the interesting learning experience from these events. And Etienne will also cover a second important topic. Today is a very important day for Hewlett Packard Enterprise. Is a launch day. So basically, we are doing a lot of big announcement. And in particular, today we are announcing the Hewlett Packard Enterprise Helion OpenStack development platform Auto. So the version 2 of our Cloud Foundry-based distribution. And in addition to the OpenStack Cloud Foundry 2.0, we are also announcing a number of additional products in the area of the Docker's containers. And I'm sure that Etienne will entertain you also covering this recent announcement. The second webinars of this series is scheduled for next November 24th, so next Tuesday. It will be again panel with all the former presenters of the OpenStack European webinars. So we will have two internals, Etienne, special guest again. We will have Christian Frank, that is taking care of OpenStack, and we are going to have two external speakers, Morton Kiss and Giuseppe Paternò, two HP's most valuable professional. And we are really opening to a panel conversations. So you are all invited to submit your questions live during next week webinar, or from now on, if you go to the website where you did the registration to attend this webinar, you can start to send emails and to submit your questions that our experts will be happy to take and to answer during the webinars. That said, sorry the introduction was longer than I thought, but a lot of interesting things that with our lawyer participants, and I'm happy to give you now the mic, the screen, and the voice to
Hi, hello everyone. Yeah, thank you, Enrico. Thank you very much for this great introduction. So I am right now sharing my screen. So I hope you are seeing my slides. So today, hello everyone, of course. I am very, very happy to speak with you about Cloud Foundry. And especially the last Cloud Foundry Summit in Berlin. So where I was a participant with Enrico, so it was very, very useful, and I have a lot of things to say to you today. But just before to start, let me tell you no really big news, big features to explain or to say or to share with you, because it's not like an Apple keynote, you know. The Cloud Foundry Summit, it's not like an Apple keynote with a big announcement of the last product, iWatch, etc. Just why? Because Cloud Foundry, it's a community. So the updates, features are every day deployed in the Git repository, so there is no big bang update. You know, so it's a big community, so every developers are helping every day, every night. So it's not we are waiting 3 months just before announce a big news. So every news are available every day, every hours in the Git repository. Actually, the biggest news is the new Cloud Foundry logo. Because the initial logo was built in 2011, designed by a developer. So, as you know, a developer, it's not really a graphical man. So welcome to the new logo. This Cloud Foundry Foundation logo is more clear, very fancy, etc., etc. So it's a big news actually. So I hope you can see my screen, because if not, of course, you can see the logo, the beautiful new logo. So let me say you another news, because I don't know if you remember, but during my last webinar, I did a demo with HPE HDP. So in this demo, I was deploying a Microsoft application to Cloud Foundry. I don't know if you remember, it was an ASP.NET application. I was deploying this cloud native Microsoft application right from my laptop to HPE Dev Platform. So it was great because HPE is supporting .NET. But right now, as you know, Cloud Foundry is an open source platform. So HPE gave the code to the community thanks to the Greenhouse project, with the initiator from for this project. So by this way, all Cloud Foundry platforms support .NET right now natively. So if you want to download the last version of Cloud Foundry community, it's supporting .NET, and of course it's supporting Docker as well. So this is a great news about Docker. Let me explain. Because when you are uploading your code, as you know, Cloud Foundry is creating for you a Docker container. And this Docker container is hosted by the DA, so it's called Garden. But before it was Warden, so Warden was like a container, but it was not Docker. It was another container technology. But right now, you can host a Docker container directly in Cloud Foundry. But it's not the only news, because instead pushing your code, now you can push a container. So you have two choices. Remember, you can push your code directly, but you also can push a container. So Cloud Foundry is an application platform if you are pushing your application, but it's also a container platform if you are pushing your container as well. So the thing is, you can build on your laptop your own container and push your container directly to the platform. So it's your choice. It's depending a lot of situation. If your application is maybe cloud native ready, so by this way you can push your code directly. If your application is maybe not cloud native, maybe you can build your application inside a container, a Docker container, and after push the container to the platform. So this is a great news. And the other news is the Bosch collaboration. So I will speak about Bosch later, but basically Bosch is the orchestrator, the Cloud Foundry orchestrator. So this is great because, for example, if your Cloud Foundry platform is, I don't know, is full, maybe Bosch can ask to your infrastructure platform to deploy new VM to host your Cloud Foundry platform. So it's coming. The collaboration is between Cloud Foundry, Bosch, and OpenStack. So it's coming. If you want to install an OpenStack, Cloud Foundry on top, the link between these two platforms will be much better. Right now, it's very, very complex to use Bosch, OpenStack, and Cloud Foundry together. Another news, Cloud Foundry on Azure. So basically, this is a very, very great news, but Cloud Foundry platform is available in Microsoft Azure, the public cloud of Microsoft, as an image, a native image, so you can deploy it right from Microsoft Azure without configuration. The Cloud Foundry community, Cloud Foundry Foundation platform. So this is great. The other news is about Pivotal. Pivotal is announcing is a new release. Basically, it's to integrate the features talked previously. That's it. So the Docker support, .NET support, etc. About HP. HPE, so as you know, we bought the product Stackato. With a great, Stackato is a very great Cloud Foundry platform. Very beautiful, stable, nice. It's very great for companies. So the new HP Cloud Foundry platform is called Helion Stackato. So this Cloud Foundry platform is a multi-platform. I don't know if you know this information, but HPE Helion Dev Platform is a platform for OpenStack. So you can install HPE Dev Platform with another infrastructure system. But with Helion Stackato is a Cloud Foundry multi-platform. So basically, you can install it on a vCenter, Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, VirtualBox, etc., etc. So this is a great news. Another information. So right now, we have two big products for the companies who want a cloud. The first one is a managed cloud, so off-premise, called Helion VPC. So it's your private cloud, but hosted and managed by HPE, if you don't want to manage it. Or we have another solution with a real private cloud, hosted and managed by the company itself, called Helion Cloud System. So you just need to install it, the cloud system software on your data center. So it's very easy. Just to remember, two big mindset, two big ways to use the cloud: Helion VPC off-premise or Helion Cloud System on-premise. So, what's about Cloud Foundry? So I'm sorry to say this information, but it's not from me. It's from the Cloud Foundry Foundation itself. Cloud Foundry is not exciting. So I know it's not easy to hear this kind of information, but according to the community, it's true. Cloud Foundry is not exciting. So why? Because the exciting thing with Cloud Foundry is what you will be able to do with that, actually. What you can do with Cloud Foundry. Basically, the application you can develop on it, the big architecture you are capable to do, the services you can do inside Cloud Foundry, this is very, very exciting. So Cloud Foundry is just 20% of the solution to develop a cloud native application. So the exciting part is, okay, with Cloud Foundry, it's great. It's just a tool, but it's great because I can develop the cloud native application, microservices, artifacts apps, etc., etc. So this is very fun. The platform itself, it's an empty platform, okay? So the main question for you, or for me, for companies, it's how can we change? Is it possible to develop a cloud native application using Cloud Foundry? So this is the main subject because, okay, the platform, it's great, etc. It's a polyglot platform. But the main question is how can we change my company? How can I develop a cloud native application? So the first answer is it's time to change, of course. Because let me give you a very, very simple example. When you are moving or getting a new wife, maybe, you are not bringing your ex-wife, your old baggages. No, you have to start with new things, maybe with new clothes, new house, new baggages, etc., etc. So the main idea to explain it's very hard, very, very hard to transform your traditional applications to a cloud native application. So it's much better to start a new cloud native application from scratch, definitely. Why? First, maybe because the application architecture is really different. A traditional application is not the same as a new cloud native application. It's not just a technical thing. It's not just a technical question because you have to change because the organizational processes are not the same. Definitely not. Your team has to be different. And that's why I'm talking about pizza today. Do you know why? Maybe yes, because it's not from me, of course, it's from the CIO from Amazon. The two pizza team, it's a new concept, very, very important in a cloud native team, a Cloud Foundry architecture. Because basically, your team is working much better if it's a two pizza team. The thing is, if you can't feed your team with only two pizza, it's because your team is too big. So just two pizza should be enough to feed your team. So I agree with you. It's depending the people, maybe in your family, just one person can eat two pizzas. But anyway, just to explain, 5 or 6 people could be enough in a team, in a new cloud native team. So this is a huge change because, as you know, in a traditional company, of course, it's big team with a lot of people. So it's not very agile, it's not very fast, etc. So make small teams. Because finally the worst thing in a team is the link between people, the connection between each people. For example, if I am asking how many links are in your group, maybe you don't know. For me, the links in if you have to talk to someone, if you don't know who is talking to another person, basically you have to talk to this person has to talk to another one, etc., etc. So it's simple because you have to check if your team is not too big to develop or manage a cloud native application. So it's just impossible, so to speak, as I say, to each people in your team if it's too big. But we have a formula to check it. So it's not from Einstein, I'm sorry.
It's one quick second.
It's from I don't know from who. But N is the number of people in your team. Okay. So for example, if I have a team with 10 people,
Etienne, can I stop for a second?
Yes, of course.
I'm sorry. Your slides, are you still on slide number 1?
Of course not.
Okay, because we currently just see slide number 1 on the screen.
Okay, I think when I am sharing my screen,
Now we see slide number 2, and we see
okay, okay. Okay, so I have to, okay, I can use the slideshow mode, actually, I guess.
Okay. Well,
Okay, so I am working like that. It could be
okay,
better.
great to see.
Just quickly, just a quick recap. Cloud Foundry new logo, new announcement, exactly what I said. We are supporting Docker. Every platform is supporting this part, Docker and .NET. Cloud Foundry is available on Azure, very important. Helion Staccato, okay, very, very important. Okay, I see the lag. Okay, it's not very fast. Okay, there is a lag between. Okay, so right now I am talking about Helion Staccato. Can you see this slide? Or are you still seeing the Cloud Foundry slide?
No, I see Helion Staccato on the top and the Helion VPC on the bottom.
Okay, perfect. So Helion Staccato is a product we bought with HP, as I said, and I was just explaining Cloud Foundry was not exciting. Okay, so just to be sure we're on the same page with the same slides, it could be much easier for everyone. And let me go to this part. So this is a formula from Einstein just to check if in your company you have maybe two teams, your teams are very too big. So N is a number of people. So as I said, if I have a team with 10 people, I do 10 with 90. So it's into 19, sorry, into 9. So it's giving me 90. 90 into 45, so 45 people. It's not bad, okay? But it's still big, but not bad. But let me give you another example. If I have a team with 20 people, 20 with 19, it gives me 380 split into 190. It's a lot, just amazing. So more you have people, more connection are lower, high, and it's crazy. So the question is, reduce your team or build new small teams. The best things to do. Just why? Because new jobs are coming. It's a new DevOps organization, and I am showing you what is this new organization. As you can see, you know this schema, this architecture. Infrastructure, okay, bottom. You need infrastructure. You can change this part. Platform on top of the infrastructure, and of course on top of the platform, your code, right there. So the new job, very important, is the platform operation. Okay, so this job is taking care of the platform. That's it. Not about the application, only for the platform. So it deploys the platform, makes standard runtimes, service availables, it monitors the platform, scales the platform, upgrade platform with zero downtime, etc. So I have to be sure, okay, the Cloud Foundry platform, the OpenStack platform, or another infrastructure has to be ready. Okay, so my platform has to be ready and ready to use. And of course, I have two new jobs. The application developers, this one. This job, application developers, basically it's the developer. So he creates a deployable application artifact. But that's it. Right after that, another developer, the application operation, is taking care of the configuration of the production environment. So he deploys the application to production, he monitors the application, scales the application, and deploys new application version with zero downtime. So as you can see, right now, it's small teams, but two people from the developer who is developing the application and pushing the application to production. And the platform operation is not taking care about, of course, the application, but only about the platform. Let me show you maybe with a very great sample. Without the animation, I'm sorry, because it's not working. But just to show you in the real life, because in the real life, it's very, very easy, because as you know, we need more than one platform. Okay, we need a platform to dev, another platform to the acceptance, so the qualification, and finally a production platform. These three platforms are the same, three Cloud Foundry platforms. So the platform operations, okay, their job to be sure the platform are ready to use. That's it. And the developer is developing his code. Okay, so it's the right point. And he's doing a first commit. That's it. Of course, he's testing on the dev platform. If it's working, he can deploy his code to the acceptance platform with the platform operation, so with the application operation. If it's working well, that's okay. But if not, he has to try with the dev platform again. So it's trying with another platform, commitX, and finally the V1 is ready. But as you can see, it's not the developer himself who is deploying the platform, the application to the right platform. The developer is taking care only of the application to the dev platform. So right now it's another job who is deploying the application to the production and the acceptance platform. So we have two jobs for developers, one job to taking care of the platform. Very, very important. And that's why, finally, we have to share the last point, because the developer is creating an artifact application. So the application has to be self-described. So I'm not creating a documentation, etc. I'm just creating API. That's why it's very, very important when you are developing any application, just to open your application, not the source code maybe, but just to open the API. So just to get an access to your application, it's exactly like that. You can develop microservices. So it's not from me directly, but this letter is very good. So it's the letter from the CIO of Amazon, Jeff, a letter sent in to the employees, an internal letter. So basically, it's just all teams will expose their data and functionalities through services interfaces. So he is asking, okay, if you are developing a great application or a great functionality, don't keep this functionality for you. You have to expose your application, your functionality to another system. So if we can't use your functionality, okay, it's not good. And the conclusion phrase is, anyone who doesn't do this will be fired. So thank you, have a nice day. Of course, it's very direct, very US. But it's very, very interesting. So share by default. So that's the point. If I am developing an application, I have to do API for this application. I can't keep this application without API. That's a very, very important point. And just another news, very important, about Bosch. As you know, Bosch, it's like an orchestrator for Cloud Foundry. But this orchestrator is honestly a nightmare. So it's very, very powerful because you can create all the VMs right from Cloud Foundry. It's all automatic, so it's very, very powerful, but it's very, very difficult to use it. Let me show you this slide just to show you the differentiator between Chef, Puppet, or Ansible. As you can see, Chef, it's easy to use and it's not bad. Puppet, same thing. Ansible, same thing. But Bosch, it's a nightmare to use. So you have to do a lot of things. It's a lot of bugs. It's not very ready to use, and it's not not easy to learn. But when your Bosch is okay, working well, it's crazy. It's very, very robust, very powerful. So maybe you can try to use Bosch just to automatize between your dev platform or your Cloud Foundry platform and to the infrastructure to make the link between platform and infrastructure. But right now, my advice is to wait another Bosch version. Okay, so version it's coming, but right now it's not a good idea to use Bosch. So if someone is talking about you with Bosch, okay, you can try, but you have to know it's very not the best idea you can get. So this point was very important. Let me maybe just to do a quick recap with the slides. It will be very more efficient for you, I'm sure. The quick recap is this one. So the Cloud Foundry logo. Okay, so you know it's a new logo. This slide. So right now, Pivotal, Cloud Foundry Foundation, IBM Bluemix, etc. are supporting Docker. So Docker is a new way to deploy a container, and Microsoft.NET. So Microsoft is very powerful, and it's very useful for all the Microsoft community. So right now it's a native support inside Cloud Foundry. And Bosch, so it's the collaboration is coming. So my advice is to wait a better version. And if you want to try Microsoft Cloud Foundry, you can try Cloud Foundry on Azure with the Staccato version. So the HPE Staccato is available on Azure. So my advice is to use it. It's very great, very easy to use. So go to Microsoft Azure or Amazon and try HPE Staccato. And I guess that's my conclusion. Just please just try. This is my best part, because right now Cloud Foundry is multi-platform, multi-vendor, so you can download an image from HPE, from another Cloud Foundry foundation, and try on your laptop. So it's very easy, and this is the first way to use Cloud Foundry, is to try it. And now it's possible. Just before it was very hard to use Cloud Foundry, to install it, but right now it's easy. That's the big news. Everyone can install it on his laptop. So do it, and that's my conclusion, of course.
Well, thank you very much, Etienne.
You are welcome.
Really much appreciated. Enrico, do you have a few words to say?
Well, no, thank you very much, Etienne. Yes, I can only say from the overall experience at the Cloud Foundry Summit, I need to say that I was impressed by the quality of the participants. You know, as Etienne said, this was the first Cloud Foundry Summit in Europe, and we got around Hewlett Packard Enterprise was one of the sponsors, and there were around 500 and more participants. So not comparable to the experience that we are doing attending and sponsoring the OpenStack 5, 6, 7,000 participants. But again, was the first one, was absolutely important and very interesting to be there. For your information, all the key IT vendors are investing in Cloud Foundry. So at the sponsors pavilion, we were not alone. I don't want to mention, of course, all our competitors. However, all the key vendors were there. And what was interesting was really to see the excitement, the animation, the spirit of all the participants. And all large sponsors, IT vendors apart, was also interesting to see a lot of small organizations, small software houses, small companies attending the summit. And again, it was really interesting, because it means that this platform is going more and more pervasive, even if probably not really exciting, as Etienne
Yes.
explained us. However, it's really something that is growing and growing and growing. I spoke with the Sam, actually I don't recall the second name, is basically the Cloud Foundry CEO. We had a conversation, etc. And he told me that at the moment, the Cloud Foundry organization estimate something like 2 billion users of applications developed by Cloud Foundry, with the Cloud Foundry. So it's a huge number. Of course, those are not the applications, but are the users of the applications. However, if you think 2 billion of people using Cloud Foundry-based applications, really give the idea of the impact that this technology is having in the market. Let me ask the participants if there are questions for Etienne or myself, or there is another topic that I would like to ask Etienne if you can briefly cover.
I'm just going to quickly announce to everyone, all the participants, if you have any questions, you can ask it via Twitter with the hashtag Helion Web Series, or you could ask via email, fernando@bemyapp.com. If you have any questions, you can ask there.
So in the meantime, Etienne, another interesting thing that we realized, or at least it was myself, at the Cloud Foundry Summit, is how Docker technology is growing. We really have, there is really a lot of interest. This is an additional technology that is really rising incredible focus and attention. And I know that today, together with the Helion development platform 2.0, we also did important announcement in terms of Cloud Foundry support from Docker. I wonder if you can tell us something more, Etienne, on the announcement.
Yes. About so there is two things to understand. The first one is we are supporting Docker, so we have two kinds of platforms. The first one is a platform, the service of course, but a platform for application. So you are pushing your code directly to the platform, and we are creating, thanks to Docker, a Docker container, and it's very great because after that, we can imagine a lot of microservices. So it's like a big software, but each modules are a container. For example, if it's a web page, you have the commands part, it's a container, a Docker container. The summary, it's a container. I don't know, the purchase module, or the comment module, or the spam module, etc. It's another container. So we have to split in a lot of parts a website in different kind of containers. And Docker is managing that with a lot of tools. So you have Docker Swarm to host the containers, Docker Compose to create a microservices system, and that's why it's very, very important. So right now, if you are creating a cloud native application, very simple, okay, you don't need Docker, I agree with you. But if you are creating a cloud native application with microservices, okay, you definitely need Docker, and that's why it's very, very important to be focused on Docker. Okay, that's it. Okay, so we're announcing a lot of things for the platform as a service for application for Cloud Foundry, but we are announcing a lot of things for the Docker for a platform as a service for containers. So we are creating a platform, a container platform with Docker, with a lot of tools to monitor the container, to compose, so to create a lot of containers, to manage the DevOps, so to manage the lifecycle of containers, and we are creating plugins for another thing who is to create, to deploy, to push, to stock, to manage containers. So that's why we are creating a lot of softwares to manage and to orchestrate the containers, the Docker containers. So we did this choice to use Docker because it's the natural choice, and I think it's the biggest community with growing. So yes, big focus on Docker, and we have a lot of products to help companies to manage the containers.
Okay, very nice. With that, gentlemen, do you have any other things to say?
No.
Perfect.
No, I'm okay too.
Ladies and gentlemen who attended, thank you very much for coming. For the winners, the way we're going to choose the winners from this webinar is very simple. For many of you know that next episode, which is next Tuesday, is our last for the season finale, and it's going to be an all-speaker panel. That means, once again, we're going to have all the speakers. So Etienne is coming back, Martin, Giuseppe, and Christian. They're going to all come back for an all-panel discussion. And basically, we're also going to be having your questions live. And to win the 2 HP Cloud boxes for this webinar, you just have to send me an email with 2 questions that you would like to ask. Well, just 1 question you would like to ask. And then from there, I will pick the question, and that person behind the question wins the HP Helion. So we'll be picking 2 winners again from this one. So make sure you send your questions to Fernando at BeMyApp.com. Questions that you would like to ask Etienne or Christian, Martin, Giuseppe, or all of them. And with that, we'll be choosing the first 2, the best questions. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to again thank you. A big thanks to Enrico and Etienne, to everyone else, and I will see you all next Tuesday. Have a good night. Cheers.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.